Yup. What's up, everyone? So today we're going to be doing relationship, marriage, and Valentine's Day. Because as you know, Valentine's Day is around the corner. Okay. So we're going to be discussing, first of all, one of the easiest way to find compatibility in a relationship and marriage through horoscope. Yes. Don't I look cute as an Eskimo? I know. But so, how do you find compatibility through horoscope? What are the easiest way? The first thing you want to look for is, does your mind matches with the other person? Does your moon placement with the other person's moon placement matches? That's one of the important things besides any other things. Okay, and never ever, especially Vedic astrology, the horoscope match gives you a score of like possibly out of 35 you get 25, 20, 16, 18, and they say it's supposed to be 18 or above for a good match. I don't think so. Okay. Um, I've seen people, and if you watch my interview with Ron Paul Manley, he himself encountered people who had a score of 9, 10 out of 35 who had been married for 25 to 30 years, happily married. So never, ever, ever, ever go on a score. It's the most useless thing out there. First, you want to see if your mind is compatible with the other person. So if you're a Pisces moon, does the other person has a similar moon? Does the other person is a water sign? Does the other person has moon in Scorpio or Capricorn? I mean, Scorpio or Cancer. If your moon is in the 12th house, or if your moon is in the 6th house, do you think the other person might relate to your moon placement? So if the other place, if the other person has moon in the 6th, 8th, or 12th, they will relate to you more. Why? Because their mind would be filled with obstacles. Their mind would be filled with sudden, dramatic events. So you relate to them. Where if there is a moon that is happy-go-lucky and has been happy all throughout life, and here you come with your past psychological problems and your past issues, and you kind of try to relate to them, they're like, "Ooh, you're weird. Get away." You know. So that's a very important thing to look for, is that does your moon match, or like if your moon is in the 5th house, you know, look for another somebody else's moon in a similar type of situation, meaning a fun house. So if somebody has moon in their 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 11th house, that would be a very, you know, a productive mind relationship, because the moon would be a lot more creative and compatible in those cases. And if moon is in the 10th house, look for somebody who also has a moon. And if you have moon in the 10th house, look for somebody who also has a moon in the 10th house, 7th house, 9th house, or 11th house, or even 6th house sometimes, because these are related to work and professional career oriented mind. So you want to look for somebody with those placements. However, let's discuss the most important thing that you should look for when you're deciding a long-term relationship. Okay? So when you are deciding a long-term relationship with a person, like, okay, I'm ready to commit to this person and I'm about to get married. You're compatible through mind. You're compatible. And also, before I even discuss this, let's also talk about sexual drive. What if you don't have such a sexual drive? You're not so lustful. You're not so, raw and like in the bed. And yet you come in contact with somebody who's like in the bed. It may not work out, especially that for the other person, they'll run away in no time, you know. And so for that, you might want to look for where Venus and Mars, if your Venus and Mars are square to each other, like Mars is 1st, 4th, 7th, or 10th places away from Venus. Venus is in conjunction with Mars, or Venus receives the aspect of Mars, that shows a lot of passion and sexual drive in a person. Now, if the other person has no relationship to their Mars and Venus, and Mars is not in any house that contains sexuality, like the 3rd house, 8th house, or 12th house, these people may not be so sexual. They'll be very average. They'll be like, okay, yes, fine, we'll do it once a week. Where the other person is going to be like, look, I need somebody who does it 4 times a day, you know? So you want to look for that. That's what I look for. But yeah, so that's very important also. After the mind comes the physicalness, which is Mars and Venus. But you want to decide the long term thing, right? To see how our next 20, 30 years are going to be. Well, for that, the dasha system is very important. Dashas, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know what dashas are, you better look at my playlist in my channel, okay, where it goes under dasha. What are dasha? Very important. These are planetary time periods that everybody goes through. So you might be going through a 10-year time period of moon, while your other partner might be going through a 18 period time of north node of the moon Rahu. And this will make a huge difference in the compatibility of and the nature of the relationship. Because let's say you are going through a Jupiter period. Your Jupiter is in the 11th house, giving you all sorts of optimism, gains, and knowledge, and you're just happy with your life, especially for the next 16 years. And then your Saturn is beautifully placed, in the 10th house in his own sign of Aquarius. So you have to see that your next 30 to 40 years are going to be pretty good. They're going to be pretty uplifting and happy. Then you find a partner who you're compatible with them mentally. You're compatible with them sexually. But let's say they're going to start their Rahu Dasha. And Rahu is in the sign of Scorpio, maybe in the 8th house. And then Saturn is looking at it and Mars is looking at it, or Mars is sitting with them. Then they're going to have quite a transformation period that can bring quite a few ups and downs. And I'm not saying that you're going to go through bad cycle with this alignment that I told you, because again, there's a lot more to this alignment that can actually produce good results. But you really just want to use your intuition when you look at the other person's chart, that are their next 18 years, and then after that, let's say if they have a debilitated Jupiter, and then they're again 16 years, there's going to be a experiencing major ups and downs in finance. Are you ready to commit to this person and their life cycle and karmic cycle that is coming? So this is the most important thing ever in astrology, is the dasha system. What dasha is the other person going through, and what dasha you're going through? If you're going to go through the next 20 years of bad time, where they're going to go through like next 30 years of very good time, maybe you do not want to tell them that, and you want to marry them, because this way you will get some of their benefits. I know I'm bad, huh? These are one of the tricks, though. These are one of the tricks. So you can, pack the deal, get their luck, situate their luck into yours, and have a good time. But remember, dasha plays an important role in compatibility, because it shows what kind of karmic cycle the other person is going to go through for the next how many years. Maybe they're going to go through 7 years of bad time, and then after that, they're going to have really good 18 years. So maybe you want to, you want to be with them. You want to help them out for the next 7 years if they go through ups and downs. Because when the other cycle comes in, it's going to be a lot better, and then things are going to be fine and dandy. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, now that you know the easiest way to really determine a good relationship, besides any other, detailed shenanigans of Vedic astrology, I know some of you, are waiting for Valentine's Day to ask your woman out, to ask your man for commitment, to ask your woman for commitment, long-term commitment. You want to, seal the deal with that booty. Okay? You don't want to do that. Trust me, you don't want to do that. Do not propose. Do not talk about something long-term on the day of Valentine's Day. Don't do that. I've made the video before on this. And that's because numerologically, the 14th of February is a very chaotic date. Because 14 number is equal to 5. Because 4 plus 1, 5. Oh my God, I'm good at math. And that day shows major turbulence. Lots and lots of turbulence. It shows real eccentric situations. So if you start something from the 5th day, of this chaotic day, and you start that long-term commitment, you propose to your woman, you propose to your, I don't know if any woman propose to their man, but if you want to propose to your woman, you can do it on the same day. Just do it after 12 a.m. at night. So then it becomes number 6, which is the sign of Venus. Because on the 14th, if you really, make that commitment's going to go through up and down, and it's going to break off. If you're looking to seal the deal with that honey, you better back off, buddy, and save yourself if you really like her. Now, if you want to break the relationship off, do it, man. Go for it. Break that thing, But just be careful on the Valentine's Day that you guys are not thinking of proposing and thinking of, going steady with somebody. Do it either the day before or the day after. Or if you want to do it on the same day, say, hey, baby, let's wait till 12 a.m. before you go to home. Why? Just wait till 12 a.m. I got something for you. You know what I'm saying? So do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my small little advice on how to quickly determine a good and bad relationship and what not to do on a Valentine's Day. So if you're new to my channel and you want useful information like this, subscribe below or above wherever you see the subscription button. And if you want to know what dasha and time period you're running through, well, definitely check out the link below and check out my book, Astrology at the Speed of Light. And when you get the book, I will send you the link to look at your own chart and your planetary time period and dashas so you can understand your life cycle and karmic cycle that is coming and how to prepare for it. And if you want to check your significant other's life cycle, it's a great time to do it. Just don't tell them if it's bad, okay? And if you want to break it off, do it on Valentine's Day. Propose to them. It won't work out. I promise. Bye-bye. What? You actually made it this far into the video? All the way to the end? Man, you must be crazy! Well, since you're already crazy enough to go this far, then might as well join the insanity by clicking that little button above where it says subscribe here. Or you can subscribe below by that little button that you see below the video. And like I told you, if you want to know where your planets are placed, where your conjunctions are, what aspects you're receiving, what planetary time period you're running through, check out this corner link below, okay? Read the directions there, because when you get the book, my Astrology at the Speed of Light book, and you follow the directions by sending me the email, I send you the link to look at your own chart so you can study everything about you. And if you want to read some more articles on astrology and every little details that I've written on my website, check out this corner link below. And this will take you to my website and to my article page where I've written tons of stuff, okay? Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow with some more insane video. Bye-bye.